Bum, 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 bum. Which screen are we sharing? Number one. There we go. Right, and we're off. Everyone see my mouse okay?
Yeah.
Great. Right, what I was looking... See my mouse okay? Hold on a second, it's opened up another channel. There we go. What I was looking for this morning here was the bounce off this pivot. Hoping the pivot would get the... Let's just get this put out of the way. Take the ding dong bell off. People coming in and out. Every time I turn the alert off, it turns itself back on, but hey ho. Right, so what I was looking for here on the FTSE early doors was a bounce off the daily pivot, and a bounce off that would really give us a really good opportunity. I'm going to move this down just a wee bit and put 2 more pips to our benefit. I'm going to put this down at 77, and we're going to raise the target to 20, giving us a potential 2% bounce into the close. It's keeping away a little bit because of the 2 pip spread and the previous low on the Friday. I think that'd be a reasonable thing to have a look at this morning. So let's see where we get to. Right. Gold. I've been trading gold this morning and silver and Forex, but I closed all the bots. I've got 1 bot left running, and I just thought we've got an all-time record high on gold. I just wondered how far we can really push that. I had 3 on, so 3%, so I've took 2% off, and I've got 1% locked on, and I'm not sure if gold's just going to come back or whether we're just going to continue on for a new all-time record high. Nevertheless, you can see here, let's just zoom right out. I was looking at a way to track this using fractals, and the structure seemed quite good until we actually got it broken. The market's just hesitating here. We are in all-time record highs, and I just wondered whether the market would break out. Although we're in all-time record highs, as goes my pen, as you know, when the market runs up and consolidates, it tends to break out to the top 8 times out of 10. But will it do that today with being an all-time record high? I'm not sure. So took the profits and put in our stop under here and see if we can make some money, and a bit more money. If we get stopped out, then we make 1% now anyway. We've already took a couple of percent out of that. What have I just done? I've gone and deleted my stop, haven't I? I should have put my stop back in. Right. Alright, let's put that in there. Just a visual stop underneath the fractals. We'll just round that to 10 because that roughly around 10, that was a stop. So make sure if we come down, it looks like it probably will relax and come down. But all the big players are going to be out today after the 19th. You can see what happened. I did say on the actual I did say on Friday, the FTSE after expiry, the FTSE normally takes off, and the FTSE did exactly what it says on the can again. After expiry, the market just rattled off again and challenged up towards the record highs at 9930. We're hoping for a pivot hold. ATR today in the FTSE is 15, DAX 33. We're going to do a long session today. Well, potentially, if the market gives us the opportunity to do a longer session, some breakouts, then we will do that, and we'll see if we can rip a few rupees out with a lot of the big players not in and on the Christmas break now. So I think we're probably in with lots of other retail traders, so we should be okay with our strategies. Closing this gap for a 2% trade would be really nice to do. Quite keen on doing that. Oh right, okay, morning. I forgot about the guys on YouTube, sorry. Although no one's talking. Right, so did really well on gold on Friday, of course. Anybody got the bots on still? Or has everyone cashed in on the bots now? No? Yes? Everyone's quiet. Okay, well, this is, I converted this from a bot. Let's switch my bots. I'm going to switch these off as well. I do not want to be going in at all-time record highs. So all my gold bots are off at the moment, as well as everything else just at the moment, while we're running around all-time highs. Yeah, this is the old record high. I'm not sure whether I want to play in that field. The DAX has already closed its gap this morning. I don't know if anyone traded DAX early this morning. A nice early bird trade here. Boom, straight into the close. So the DAX has already done what it says on the can. Where's oh, here we are, the daily edge. So you can see the market really is on a Saturday, and the FTSE is doing exactly what we thought it would do. Straight after expiry, it's took off. It just about does that every year, and I won't go over the detail because you've all got the daily edge, and yeah, so it's been doing exceptionally well. And I've been, of course, tracking it every day. So it's lost one day since April. Not bad stats. Not bad stats at all. I'm actually in the Euro USD and USD Japani as well as the two top forex to trade. Not in silver. Silver's rallied back through over the 1 hour 200 EMA, so it's not really of interest to us at all. So let's see, we'll stay on the FTSE, open in less than 60 seconds. Let's see if the pivot boys are going to start buying, and we can go up to the close. That would be nice to get that first live trade off. I know we're already in gold, but I've already made some rupees on that, so that's okay. Right, well, the spreads clicked us in 30 seconds before, so let's see if there are orders waiting to close the gap, and that we'll see that in 10 seconds. So let's see if the market just pips us off and drops down, or the orders are in to close that gap. Let's see. Open in 3 seconds. Bugger. Right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to keep the trade on, and we're going to walk this down a little bit further. I'm going to CBOS trade, guys. 15 and 15. While we see this. The ATR is 15, it's a 15 and 15 CBOS trade. CBOL, I should say. So we're going to run that that's 51, so we're going to that 52. And then I'm going to run a wider trade. Can I walk this down a bit further? 63. Keep it away a little bit. 15 pip stop as well. So 15 pip stop the ATR. And what we're looking for is not a 15 and 15 here. It's all a bit congested just at the moment, but let's get this all the way up here for to close the gap again. So what we've got here is if the market comes down to Camarilla breakout short, let's did I get clicked in? Yeah, I did get clicked in. Then we'll take that trade. Let's have a look here. So if the market rises up, we're going to get clicked in, stop under the CBOS. If we come down, we'll get the CBOS trade as well. Bit disappointing that there was no one sat on the daily pivot waiting to go, but that's life. %2 on gold and give 1% back on the FTSE, but that's just the way trading goes, isn't it? I'm just putting an order in on the FTSE. Getting ready to place an order on a different account. Let's see if CBOS can come down. Be nice if we can get this down the first 2 or 3 minutes. If we can just push that down. CBOS is at 9851.4. And we need this roughly about a pip in front of it, so we've got 52.6, just a slight 0.2 of a pip different. I've put that in, but come on, let's get that popped in. Just a wee bit more. Let's go down to the 1 minute. So closing gap. It's quite funny really when you see these markets. I expected the orders to be in this morning to close that gap. I guess a lot of the retail traders don't even know what pivots are and gaps are. So maybe with the big boys being away on the Christmas break now, we don't have that same sort of price action around the pivots because it's not really a system trade for the general trader. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just looking, is there anyone on YouTube trading the gap? Or does anyone on YouTube know about the gap? I'm just looking over to one side with screens each side of me and one above, so you might see me looking around a little bit. I'm just looking at the different screens and what's happening. Yeah. It's front running CBOS a bit, isn't it? Come on, a little push down. Either way, we'll get a trade off. We'll begin at 9,863, 5 pips away here. Or we'll get the CBOS bounce. Either way, we will get the trade. There's a wee bit of a battle going on just here. You can see from the point of view of the market, Rencor is definitely red, indicating this is going to come down, going 926 cross to the downside. Unbalanced volumes down, although people are walking away a little bit. All we need is this just a touch down, which would be nice. Get a cam trade out, get our money back, and then hit that close. Oh crap. Some people are trading the gap. let's have all that. I've got the market open up here. Right, we've took profits automatically on gold, so gold's pulling back a wee bit. Got a nice bot trades out at 140, the monster trade. Has anyone got any of the gold bots on, switched on at all at the moment? So now I've got all mine off now. I know there was some monster trades that they did on Friday and then again this morning. But for everyone in the room, just to let you to be clear, I've got all my gold bots switched off now. I'm really looking for pullbacks to get back into gold. What am I in at the moment? Right, so we'll go and have a look. On the daily edge on the Forex, we had favourites were long Euro USD and USD Japani, and they've been running in and out of profit this morning. Just have a wheel. Looks like we're just going to front run CBOS, which was a bit of a pain in the ass, really. The low, what's that, 57.7. It was running a little bit. We've been clicked in now for the long, coming into the close. So we've got a 15 pip stop, 34 pip target. So we're looking to get 2% out of that. I'm just going to go and have a little look at gold, because it's pulled back. We've been stopped for over 3% profit actually, not including the bots this morning. We've smashed our BRN number. It's hard to know where do you go from here. The market has just absolutely tronched everything, hasn't it? New record high. The old record high has been broken here. A pullback would be nice. As I mentioned on Friday, the market's probably going to be moving in some sort of fractal structures, because a lot of the large players probably won't be around after expiry in the morning sessions. So we can look for some fractal structure. I think that would be quite good for this morning. You can see these fractal breakouts have been actually really good on a 15-minute. Rather than using the 15-minute bar, the 15 structure there, fractal here, and there's another one forming here to break out. But that's on 15 minutes. Can we actually be pretty bullish? I think we could be. We could look at a fractal breakout here. What I'm looking at here, just looking at this structure here, this fractal structure here. That's quite a nice breakout, but you can see this pin here has formed quite a bit of depth. I do not want to take a staircase that's coming down. As the fractals are walking down, you never take the first fractal. The second fractal is always a better one to take. The first fractal you can get in very cheaply, I guess. But you can see the 9 EMA, we're really dancing around the 9 EMA, not really getting a consistent, since the open, a consistent close above the 9 EMA. So I'd like to take that with this as a stop. So with that in mind, we're going to measure the top of the fractal to this depth base, 8.3, spread of 5, so 0.5, so that's 8.8. We could just do that at 9 pips, I think, 9 and 9. So for the guys using V12 on your training account, rather than put the money in there, if rather than put the pips in there, you can put the money. So on a 1% trade, you're looking at £20. So if on version 12, if you just put the 9 and 9 in here, it should calculate that out for you. So we put this in now. Yes, you can see it's 2.22. So that would be the actual fractal is here, 18.16. So can raise that just a wee bit more than half the spread, and that would be our fractal break for a new all-time record high. I would like to get the market to actually pull back a little bit more before we go in, but you know, it is where it is. We've had the European Open, the people have took profits. How far will it come off? Not sure. Let's just have a little fibbo on the base level. So we have a 61.8 down at 44.07. Be nice to see that. Be nicer to see 44.3, 78.6. Oh, I've just taken the trade off. Flipping heck, I have, haven't I? Let me put the trade back on again. There we are. Just turn these frackers off just one moment. Dun, 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 dun. Right. Daily edge. Streaming. Have we got Andy on YouTube? No. Okay. So just really waiting for that one. We'll go back. I'll put some alerts to the top side and to the downside just to get us alerted off. But very, very quiet in the room this morning, guys.
I'm here. It's Monday morning.
I don't think I can sit here for 4 hours talking to myself.
I'm joining.
I drive myself bonkers, Jeanette. Yeah.
No, I'll join in.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, into forex. So right, let's forex. Let's get USD Japani. That was a trade in this morning, quite bullish on that. If you haven't already traded it, just turn this off a minute, because that's just me doing the trades as per the daily edge saying get on with it. It's a buy. Euro USD is a buy as well, and we'll look at those. I think I've traded, both of those, I think. So when we're looking here at trading this as a continuation on the forex, look at that 15-minute bar there this morning. That wasn't too early. Another 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning's usually too early for most people. But there was a nice bar there at 6 o'clock, a 15-minute bar trade. There's another 15-minute bar trade there. And the reason I mentioned this one is you can see we're right on that at the moment. So that 15-minute bar trade, if you want to take that 15-minute bar trade, you've got quite a tight stop. You need to have 17 pip stop with at least a 17. You could get 17 and 20 odd pip stop here, no problem whatsoever. I come to the party a little bit late this morning. and I was quite happy with that grade 2 bar here, but I missed it and just smashed the button straight away with a healthy stop under here, so I can tighten those stops up now under here, I think. And I was looking for quite a nice trade. As you can see, I'm levered up. I should not do this. I'll take that down to 1% from 3 and take the profit. What we're looking at here is quite a nice trade. You could put the trade up against here, but in fact this is the bar. This would be the bar that I would try to take, and got a bit of slippage, smashed the button on there. So stops under these swing lows. Expect the market to be a wee bit volatile today. Wow, look at all those 415 trades, 16 of them setting up. Oh, high grade copper. Wow, that's absolutely flew straight past all the targets that I've had, and my next target's just below 57, I think. No, yeah, 57. So high grade copper again. Wow, there is a 15-minute bar here. Is anyone in the room? Oh, there's no one in the room that does copper. I'll flick on by past copper then. Euro USD was the other one that we were trading in the room. Now, this Euro USD, this is one I hadn't done this morning. Now, this is one I did on Friday, and it's still on. And I've just left it to run, but the market has been struggling, to say the least. So if you were trading this morning, fantastic bar there. We're right on the entry here on a 15-minute bar. Great entry there. Stop under that swing low. Could be quite nice. I have to wait and see how that pans out. But Euro USD, USD Japani are the two trades that are hot for Forex market. Let's just go and have a look at how the FTSE's getting on. But also the DAX, now that's kind of it broke out. The gap got closed early doors this morning. Hopefully it'll have had a bit of a retreat. I'm going to take the cam trade off. It didn't quite get there. We needed the market to come up a little bit further down. We are in the rise, a bit of a rise trade. If you're not already in that, then a 15-minute bar would be absolutely fine. Looking for a new test of the all-time record highs. We'll have to wait and see. Usually the market does get a RAR on after the options expiry, and it has. It's just coming back for a bit of a relax now, and let's try and get this market closed here, and then a push on towards camera breakout long would be nice today. Go and look at the DAX. Well, I had to see, as you can see, I think I put this in the edge this morning. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I forgot to update the... Right, okay, so that was Fridays. We hit every single target. Gap today by the dips, highs 23, 30, all those have been hit. I should have typed in 24.3. It's a pain in the backside, this. It's all right for the room, but I then put it after distribution. I think I might... in the new year, as I said before, I might be canning the daily edge for everyone outside of the room. So we've got quite a few people outside the room, but when I'm trying to get things out and I keep making these mistakes rather than typing in the 24366, you can't guarantee people are going to be live or even streaming live on YouTube, so it might be a bit confusing. And for the pocket change that it costs, it's probably just too much hassle to then have to rewrite it again and give people the correct targets when there's only a couple of dozen people that to get this, and it's I thought it would take off a lot more, to be honest. I thought we'd have quite a lot of people looking at and benefiting from it, but there's only a few, so it's probably not worth the effort. So I might can the daily edge, not for the room, not for here, not for you guys, but for everybody else outside of the room, because it's just not worth the time and the effort to update any little mistakes and things that I might make. And I obviously made a bit of a boo-boo there. It should have been 24,366. So never mind.
I had a signal on oil. I missed that.
Well, that's amazing, Clive, because there isn't any. Where's your signal on oil?
On the 15-minute.
What, above the 1 hour 200 EMA?
Hold on.
You might have your wrong chart, some fella. There is a high, the high test here for the 4 hour. So if you are using the 415 reversal, the 415 reversal, then absolutely did right. Yeah, there's a great signal, and there's another one there and another one there. Yeah, if you're using the 415, then absolutely, there's a screamer. One there, one there, saying, please sell me. I'd said for the room, this is where it gets confusing as well, because I know there's people outside using the 415, and just to try and keep everyone safe. But obviously you're an old hand anyway. Trading. You do not need to be under the 1 hour 200 EMA. I put in the daily edge, trade under the 56.90 just to keep people safe. But as Clive points out, a 415 trader, there's 3, 4 really strong bars saying sell me, sell me, sell me. And in fact, it's right on the sell me now. So while we're live in the room, I'm just going to take that. Thanks, Clive. That's a nice tight one as well, isn't it? We can smash the button on 26 pip stop. We can smash the button there. 26 pip stop. And again, if you rather than auto quantity, if you, let's say, is this in dollars? No, it's in pounds. So if you put your trading account size up for 1%, we should, if I smash this button now, it should automatically adjust that for a 1% trade. So I'm quite pro on oil coming back after the little rah-rah on. And I think once it gets 56.90, it'll be a lot of other people jumping on this. But how far can this go? Well, we could do a fib on this and look for a 61.8% fib on that big rally, and that would be quite a nice target. A front run of the 61% fib would be a really nice target to have a look at. 75 points there. I'd be quite happy with that. And I'll put the fib targets on the retrace target there, and the 78 down here. Yes, that's a 415 reversal rather than the 15-minute bar. The basic 15-minute bar. This is the more advanced trade, but there we go. So we're in crude. Right, back to USD, Japani and Euro USD. Let's just have a quick look. Is anyone trading USD yen? Nobody?
Not at the moment.
Right. It's all a bit scrappy, isn't it?
Hmm. Oh, talking about Forex, so on the euro pound, you've got that as a buy, whereas it's below its 200
That's
on
just
the.
it. I don't check any of those,
Oh,
Clive.
right.
None of them. The
Yeah.
only two that we look at are,
Yeah, you have
well,
two
we've got
main
our
ones.
majors, and then there's
Yeah.
these core these two. They're the
Yeah.
only two I check. And then there's the non-core. You've got to put silver in, and then any of these. This is AI fantasizing, hallucinating, God knows what. I just don't check them. But I do
Yeah.
leave them in for the simple reason people have asked me to leave them in. Otherwise, I'd just take them all out because
Yeah.
for me, I would only want to trade the highest probability ones, and they're the ones I check.
Yeah.
I
All right.
don't. I let AI do
Yeah.
this, and sometimes it hallucinates. It keeps all the
Yeah.
data, you know, a couple of days old, and it's a couple of days old,
Yeah.
especially over the weekend. Sometimes when we get, for instance, when you've got, I'm going to say an old bit of data, but actually that's not old. That's absolutely spot on this morning. But yeah. So I don't know. A bit of feedback would be good in the room, guys, because do I carry on with the also runs, as I would call it? So we've got our core trade in the day that we FTSE, DAX, gold and crude that we look at every single day anyway. We try and get 1% out of that motley crew when we usually do, which is nice. Then we add a couple of Forex and some of the non-core, which I'm going to move up next year. I'm going to put silver into the core next year because we trade silver every day anyway. Do I get rid of all this? Also, run, because it does take up a lot of space. I don't trade any of these. I only trade the best, highest probability ones, which are these two. If I'm going to do Forex, I'll only do those. Non-core ideas, well, can I be bothered reading 8 different things and making sure they're all spot on when I'm not going to trade it or recommend it in the morning? Don't know. I think I'm talking myself into it to ditch them. The research is there for everyone to look at the research for yourself. But I'm not a huge Forex trader. We can make lots of money outside of Forex. Don't need it. But so how many are we doing? We do FTSE, DAX, gold, that's 3, silver 4, crude 5, and 2 optionals. That's 7 opportunities, 7 things that we track in the morning. Then of course in the afternoon I don't put it in a daily edge. But you guys in the room know we do the gap every single day on the Dow and the S&P as well. So there's 9 opportunities a day. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll move silver into core and get rid of the non-core ideas? Anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I quite like trading silver, so
Yeah,
that's
I
just
think
for me.
silver needs to be.
Yeah.
Silver's up 138% this year, and gold 67%. So we've got no dissenters in the crowd. So we're going to ditch the non-core idea. We're going to move silver up to a core idea, and we're going to ditch the also ran pairs because Clive's quite right. You point stuff out and you really think shit. Then it doesn't sound quite right. So you then have to go back into the analyses here when we have all the AI screeners here anyway, telling you exactly what's. If you want to do Forex trading, then we have all the AI screen. Whoops. Can I put that on the one side here? We have all the AI screeners on the side here, don't we? if you want to have a look at the 17 on the simplified view, on the focus view, there's like 15 to have a crack at. And if you're wanting the perfect storm, there isn't a perfect storm at the moment on a 415 reversal. But yeah, have we got anything on the high volatility? We're probably not going to get any high volatility today or tomorrow. No big moves. So what I will do starting tomorrow, then I will promote silver up, and we'll get rid of the other forex trade ideas. So we'll have 2 forex ideas a day, and then we'll look at the European Open session that's going to include gold, silver, and crude. We'll keep an eye and give you some heads up. But I don't think there's no one in the room that trades high grade copper. Do you trade copper, EJ?
No, I don't trade copper, Steve.
No, I don't. I think it's Bryn and Allen that trade copper. Brian, sorry, not Bryn. I've got Bryn Laggy on the brain. I've just been talking to them. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, I'll do that. It'll save a couple of pages of waffle on there, because if you're in the room anyway, then you can put the screeners on anyway that we've just developed to find all the trades anyway, whether a bull or a bear trade. And you've got, if you're an FX trader and you've got your FX list, then you've got 14 other things to have a little peruse around, haven't you? So we'll do that. And I won't put high grade copper in, because there's only 1 or 2 people that do high grade copper, and to be honest, you need a pretty decent account to do copper, because it's such a large, it's 50 odd thousand pip market, I think. Is it 50 or 57? Is it something like that? 55,000 pip market. You need some pretty big stops, usually about 300 or 400 pips, something like that, to be able to trade it. And anyway, so, right, I've talked myself into it. So we've got no dissenters in the crowd, so we'll ditch all the FX apart from the 2 best. I'll push this back. We'll move silver into core, and we will drop the FX. I'm really tempted to put the Dow and the S&P in, but it's forecasting what's going to happen way ahead, the crystal ball into that. I think what I'm going to do over the holidays is take the Dow gap trade strategy we've got, and I'm going to adapt it, see if it needs adapting, see if we can integrate that into the S&P Dow gap as well. So we have a strategy really focused on that, so we don't have to put it into the daily edge. Because there's no point in putting a daily edge for people outside the trading room, because they probably won't they don't have the extra information on the strategy to know how to trade it. So there's no point in putting it in the edge. But the Dow and the S&P should be, and I think we trade on a Friday on the Dow anyway. Well, we might not be trading at all live streaming next year. I haven't decided yet. We might just ditch that completely. I don't know. What I want to do is the best we can for this room, for helping guys in the room be as consistent as practically possible. So we'll get the gap strategies updated for the Dow and for the S&P and for the FTSE and the DAX. It's not everyone's around for. Does anyone anyone that's online now? Does anyone do the the American market gaps?
Yeah, if I can, I will do the Dow gap. It's not all the time, just depends on work, but sometimes I'll jump on that. But like,
Yeah, that's very much like myself. If I'm around, I'll do it. I
mm,
won't make a point of coming. The thing is, it's not wanting to sound funny or anything, but if you've already made your targets for the morning, why put it at risk with another trade in the afternoon when you've already
yeah,
met all your goals, you know? So the main focus is the European session, isn't it? Yeah. It's just difficult to know. You get more and more information. You think, well, I'll supply this, I'll put more and more and more in. But then it becomes a massive target. It becomes like a dartboard. Then you don't know where to what to use to get your 1% out. Yeah, so we'll have two top forex, and then we'll have core trades, and then we'll focus silver like this into the core trades, and then the American session will be the American session. Really, that's not really one for the daily edge. Right, okay, we'll do it. Spent 6-7 hours in the car yesterday going across the Pennines, going to see the kids and everything. So did the Mag 7 last night, but didn't do the videos for it. And we don't get a lot of people watching the videos anyway, so I think we'll, no point in spending a few hours doing a couple of hours putting a video together when it's not really watched that much. What I'm trying to do is work out what's effective and what's not for the people, for the guys. And who's on the moment? No, there isn't anyone here in the room that trades the Mag 7 either. We haven't got very many people in the room. Everyone's given up for Christmas, I think, as well. Right. Are you off to France over Christmas, EJ? Is it gone? Right, yeah, we're pulling back on gold, aren't we? In fact, a pullback into the 61.8 would be nice, and to give that another go. Let's just take that fractal off. We'll take that off. Don't need that trade anymore. A little pullback would be really good. If we can get a 78.6, it'll wake up all the fibber boys. That would be nice. And if we can get a trade off into that would be good. But there is. Let's see where are we with regard to. Wow, look at that. We're well above C-ball on a breakaway. Chances of this coming down are lower than the snake's belly, I think. Looking at that. But a wee pullback would be nice. I think we'll probably just can the live stream on YouTube at 9, something like that, 'cause I don't think we've got anyone really watching. There's certainly no jibber jabber, no chat going on. Whether people are finding it interesting or not, I'm not really sure. But is there anything any guys want to do in the trading room this morning? Anything you want me to go over and have a look at and go through? quite happy this morning to go through anything you want. Unless you're all happy. I can see I'm going to run out of voice this morning, aren't I?
Yeah, I've got, I mean, obviously the thing that I always, no, I don't struggle with, but you know, when you're trading off like a 4 hour key level and it's bouncing around there for a little while, and you probably can't do it this session, Steve, but is, you know, it can bounce around there for a little while, isn't it? It's waiting for the right entry point coming in and kind of looking for that. It's all, that's the bit I always find difficult because I like trading off the 4 hour key levels, but it's just waiting for the right entry point because you've got, you know, initial breakthrough, then a bit of a pullback, and then wait for it to push through again, and then you just don't know. There's no guarantee, is there really? And it's just, is there any little tips around that area really? That's kind of the one for me. But it might not be for this session because you'd have to look for a 4 hour key level really to do that off.
Yeah, I think I might have some 4 hour filters on that. That's a good point. I know there is quite a few people like to do some swing trades around the work, doing work. So let's go. I think we started to look at some stop and reverse on 4 hours, but they're not full blown.
Yeah, I quite
filters.
like that trade.
Let's just have a look. Actually, I think that's probably completely over. That's not good. Right, it's just righted itself. Yeah. So have I got? I think we called it the 4 hour dipper long, didn't we? And the 4 hour dipper short. So what this is, this particular filter filters out long positions, but pull back on the 4 hour. So like here, it was quite like, it's like you were saying before, it's quite difficult to do a 4 hour swing trade when the market just keeps trying to pull up and then failing, and like you were mentioning before, pulling up and knowing what to do. So I think on here, and it doesn't matter on the asset really, unless there's economic news. This would be quite a tough one to try and work out what to do. Now, if the way that I would treat something like this, bouncing around the 4 hour, would be to just have a look at the actual structure and treat the 4 hour price action against the 9 EMA the same as you would looking for a 15-minute bar entry. Now, if you don't get the setup, then it's just not right. And what I mean by that is treating it the same. If I can get my pen, can I have a vanishing pen? There we go. So when you look at the market coming down here, and you think, oh, this could look really good for the market to run up, and it probably does. Now you've got a 4 hour bar. Now there's two things you're got to think about here before I show you how I would treat it. Is if you are looking at a 4 hour chart for doing a swing trade, then the candle, there's two things you actually want. First of all, you want to see a candle with a flat bottom on. If you see a candle on a 4 hour, after it's crossed, after the K line has crossed the signal line, and you get a very strong 4 hour candle, in other words, a flat bottom, no hesitation, markets accepted it, then that could be a very similar to a 415 reversal. You take a direct break of there, stop under the swing low in here, and you're going for a 1-to-1. And I don't think that on this occasion, I'm not going to fix it so it works. Would that have worked? And it doesn't look like it would have. 25 points, it would have met. It would not have worked. The way I would treat this is I would look at the 9 EMA, and that is for me at every time frame, regardless of whether it's 4 hours or 4 minutes. If the price is tracking under the 9 EMA and I'm wanting to go along and it's closing continually on the 9 EMA, it's no good, because the 4 hours are much bigger time frames. So regardless of the little blip ups that you see, it is no good. The only time you would you'd need the market to pull back, of course, like you were mentioning before, but you do need so this candle here, that candle here, is a good candle, a really good candle. But then your break would have to be above there. And because you are using the rule of momentum, price action is positive, the trend is positive. Price action here was positive, but you never got the opportunity. There is one here, you got the opportunity there, but you didn't have the pullback here. So that's no good. These are the things you got to look at. Market's okay here, so that's great here. Price action, well, this one you wouldn't take because the wick is longer than the body. There is one here that is good to take. A break of there and your stop would be under the swing low. The market then put in a red candle, so that's no good. So that's the next candle, which is above the 9 EMA, which is good, and you would have been put in there. But again, price action, it looked good. Did you have the pullback? Absolutely not. So you wouldn't have took that. You come in, rather than go through every single candle, you got this pullback again. We're under the 9 EMA, no good. Under the 9 EMA, no good. Above the 9 EMA, good. But you haven't got the pullback. So what you're looking for is not a perfect storm, but you're looking for price action which supports the things that you're looking for. And at the moment, absolutely, yeah, it looks pretty good here, but there's nothing there yet. If you look back, there's a price action has pulled under your stotch. That bar there is no good because that wick is longer than the body. The next bar here is a really strong bar there, but that again, although when you are looking at it, it was really, really good. Now, if you're trading on a 4 hour, the thing I would look at there is one of the things that would get my eyebrow rising is because you got a massive body there, you got lots of impulse coming in here. What I would want to see to give me confidence is if I'm trading in a 4 hour, I'd want to have a look at the daily. When I saw that, I'd want to look at the daily. Do I take that 4 hour trade when it's extended here? The reasons I would look at it is because the 9 has crossed the 26, tick. You got a great big bar, tick. The thing goes against it is completely overbought at the moment. So I would have to go and look at the daily. And if the daily stotch was under the, let's say, around about the 30th percentile, then I would take it. And I wouldn't, although that did work, I wouldn't take it. I want to see things all stacking up in my favor. So the trade would be here. So would I take that trade? I wouldn't have took that trade because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. It's difficult on the 4 hour because you can spend days looking for a setup, days and days looking for a good setup, whereas if you're using a 15-minute bar, you can spend a full day and you might get a couple of really good setups, but
I actually, yeah,
you can
I
spend a
actually
week.
use the 4 hours as a guide and then drop down to the lower time frames and trade it on the day. I don't often use it as a swing trade as such. I just use it as an overall guide with the 1 hour and then take a shorter small
All
time
right, so
trade,
you're
like a
not
reverse,
looking
a bit
at.
like you did the pivot bounce and an ATR bounce. I kind of use it like that. So, yeah.
Well, that's different. If you've got
Mm.
the market, if you're looking for a really big pullback like this one,
Yeah, so I use it how I trade
then
it on
look
a,
at it. Well, that's completely different because
yeah,
you've then got the latitude for quite a large run. So
yeah.
if we can I put an arrow in here? So there's a crossover there. That's a cross that you would look at, a 4 hour there. That would start getting you salivating. There's something there, which is December the 11th.
Yeah.
And generally, you trade on 15 minutes. We could let's have a look at December 11th at 4 o'clock, roughly.
Yeah, so it's quite a nice like pullback there. So, but sometimes I get stuck around the exact entry point, but actually that one works really nice. So I do it that way.
Where's the 11th? Where's my arrow gone? I have to go back quite. Right. Okay, there we are. So there, right. So you drop down to the
Yeah.
15 minute.
Mhm.
Oh, right. Okay, there you go. There's a beautiful 15 minute. There's a 15-minute bar above the 9 EMA or a 415 reversal because we already know it's above the 4 hour because it's just dipped down. So the 415 reversal would give you that bar there. Or if you wanted to wait for the cross under the 9, it would give you that bar there, and you don't have to type that in. You can see it's definitely a 1-to-1 or better.
Mm.
All right, yeah. I was thinking you were just looking for 4 hour swings, and
No,
it's
I don't really do
a
swing
4 hour
trading much.
trade off within one day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it's just kind of waiting for that key level, really, isn't it? And I think sometimes I hesitate around the entry between doing a reversal, reversal a bit like doing off the pivot or a CBOS trade
Yeah.
versus 15-minute bar reverse entry. So yeah.
We could look at this one. This is a one that's quite. It's horrible action though, isn't it? The market's
Yeah,
just
it's messy that.
it's slowly dying away here. But if you then went into 15 minutes, was there any? Let's see when it went into this condition, the first condition, which was Monday. Well, the early doors this morning. Was there anything early doors this morning? And because it's forex, I would not personally trade it before 5:30 only because I don't get up that early. 5 o'clock is okay onwards. Was there anything there? Well, actually, there's a fantastic bar there as it happens. There's a bar. Yeah, all right, okay. So that's a double tap there. So that is lower than this bar, so that would be your stop. So yes, yeah, okay, so that would have alerted a trade off, and you'd have got not only a nice 15-minute bar, it was a 15-minute bar that actually closed above the 9 EMA. So yeah, that 4 hour dip there would have worked, but the market's slowly coming down. So whether this was pure luck that this structure set up, that we were looking at it, kind of don't know. Ideally, you would want to see the 15-minute bar above the 200 EMA, but when you get these deep pullbacks, you can't always get that, and getting that bounce is using that 15-minute bar reversal or a 15-minute fracker would be really, really good to get. But I wouldn't go for more than a 1-to-1 unless the structure looked really good, unless we were looking at market already trading above the 200 EMA and you really have got the momentum behind you.
Okay, thank you.
Is there can see if there's one live here on a short play. Ah, there is. Yeah, there's one. Look, well, we're in crude anyway, aren't we? Let's just look at that. Up at the 4-hour level. So we're completely overbought here. Completely. But we are just, the K line's just about to cross the signal line as we are live at the moment. You could say it probably doesn't get any better than this for a signal right at the very, very top. On the 4 hours, nothing to look at. But it was Clive that pointed that out this morning. There was some great reversal action here. 15-minute bar there, another one there, another one here, another one here. The market's still fighting at these levels, but from a technical point of view, you can really see it's probably just going to give itself up. And once you get past 56.90, which is the 1 hour 200 EMA, and it's a break of structure here, if this confluence, then the market's going to just come off, isn't it? But it's a game thing, a time thing. It needs to get itself breaking this structure, which is really between these two lines here. As soon as that's broken, it's game on for coming down. Euro CAD, put that out into the 4 hour. Clearly see the market keeps coming up and testing the 4 hour resistance. This market is negative. The market is completely overbought. Interesting thing, and things to note. When this was bought before, need to use me different arrows. Pen, need a disappearing pen, don't we? Vanishing pen. When the markets were oversold before here and here, look at that, they were challenging the 4 hour 200 EMA, but now the market's a lot weaker. It's nowhere near there. It's nowhere near here. So this is showing you that these impulsive moves are getting smaller and smaller. There are less people wanting to buy this pair. It is negative on the trend. The other watch out while we're still on 4 hour is that the market is, although it's in a negative, it's trending down, the market is on price action bullish. So we're constantly closing above the 9 EMA. If you drop that down now into 1 hour, just a granularity without big jumps. Market really, we've got a little close on a 1 hour candle above the 200 EMA here, but a potential close again here, but this market could easily reject. Looking at this structure into this area here, we are price action positive, but we are trend negative on the 4 hour, which is a guiding principle for day trading for the 4 hour. If you can get the 4 and 1 hour to align, that's brilliant, but you don't need it. Dropping down into 4 hour, into 15 minutes. And what you're looking for is a 1-to-1 until you get the 1 hour on side with you as well. But when you can see here, there's nothing to trade, nothing to see. There was a nice bar there, but that have got it as a 1-to-1. If this was on my trading plan, I would have took that. Would I have made any money? As it gets to halfway, 3/4 the way you always do a stop to entry anyway, so no, wouldn't have made any money. Would have no material loss, but no gain either. There was a bar there as well, 15-minute bar there. Again, that would not have hit full target. It looked like very close, but it wouldn't have done it. So kind of looking back at the history, it doesn't give you a lot of confidence that this market, if it does put in a 15-minute bar, it's going to make you any money. It failed twice before, and the market is providing you with, you know, higher lows in a negative market, which is not good. The last thing you'd want to see is this area here being broken and putting in higher highs. So I would just walk on by on that one. But you know, you've got to go through them. You've got to filter them. You know, you've got to be able to look at them and to dismiss them. Just because the filters say it's overcooked or, you know, overbought or oversold, doesn't mean it's ready to go in the opposite direction. It just means it needs to be looked at. So the two we were trading, Euro USD on the Forex, USD Japani was 1 that we're trading, and that's moving off now in the right direction. Nice 15-minute bar, grade 2 there, grade 1 bar there, grade 1 bar there, grade 2 bar there. Lots and lots of signals to say get going, and market is coming up towards, you know, a nice 1%. Euro USD was the other one that we were in. That's starting to move off now, and provided a really nice flat bottom there that was missed. It slipped. Another 15-minute bar there that we talked about a bit earlier. That was nice. Another 15-minute bar here, and the market is trading above the 9 EMA. The 9 EMA has crossed the 200. We do have a 926 cross also, which happened here, down here, and what you can say, this market is pretty strong. You'd want it to has to break through this level at the moment, wouldn't you, to get going? But I'm in this for today and tomorrow, hopefully, to get a multi-bagger trade out of this. We're live on YouTube again tomorrow, but you can watch and see where we got to with this. But you can see this phase wave. You got, get my pen here. You got phase or wave 1, stroke 2, another one here. Wouldn't surprise me if you get another 2, and the market, you know, then ideally moving off. But it all takes time. What you could do on here as well is, so there's fractal breaks here, fractal bottoms here, there. There'll be another fractal forming here. I'll put them on there, so you can see the fractals forming. You could use 5-minute frackers on this, and keep moving your stop underneath the fractals. I'm going to move this stop at the moment, reduce the risk under the base fractals here, reducing the risk significantly, and letting this market just run. So there's 5-minute fractals there that you could use. You could use 15-minute fractals, and this will start to, you can see here there's a fractal top here. I'll get rid of that fractal top there. There is a higher fractal top here, higher high on a fractal breakout. Ideally the market will come down a little bit and provide a new fractal base. So this will new fractal base here, a new fractal there, and you could take a 15-minute fractal break out of there with a stop under the swing low here, heading for the dizzy heights higher up with a stop like that, if you're not already in. Lots of ideas you can use to look at Euro USD today and USD Japan, the two highest probability trades, I would suggest. If you want to extract 1% out of the market, well, we've already done it on USD Japani, and this is on its way as well. Could get 2% out of this today. Oh, I better look. What if you overcooked on the starch? You've already asked me this one, Jerome. What if you're overcooked on the starch, but a 15-minute bar farms? What do you do? Well, the obvious thing, just what I've mentioned at the moment, you look at a higher time frame. If the higher time frame supports your move, then you take it. For the simple reason, markets can, when they really do get a rah-rah on, can be overcooked for a long time. One of the things you want to look out for, you'd look at here, does this market stay? Can it stay overbought or oversold for quite a while? On this particular asset, no. If you choose something like gold, you'll probably see something different. And you look at the assets; they've all got different personalities. This one can stay overcooked, so yeah, you need to work out rather than bounce from asset to asset to asset to asset. And it looks like I'm doing that here. The reason I'm doing that here is because this is not just a trading room; it's a training room, and we try and answer as many done that wrong questions as possible in as many different scenarios as possible to help people. So if you were trading on my own, as the guys in the room would know, I'd just stay focused on 3 or 4 assets and just nail them. But can I just get rid of that? So you can see here on the, if you were trading Euro USD, would you carry on with Euro USD? Probably not, because history tells you in the way it moves, because more markets move up and down in waveforms. Euro USD really has not lately supported anything being overbought and stayed overbought. Whereas if you're trading gold and it's completely overcooked, would you trade it? Well, hell yes, of course you would, because when the markets get behind this particular asset, it's probably the same for silver. It just keeps going. Here we are. Yeah, it just keeps going. So you're okay to take it. The thing is, these are the things that we teach in the room. You're not going to get it from watching a video on YouTube, because you need more runtime and you need to be revisiting assets all the time to check. And you just got to get another personality of the asset that you're trading. One rule does not fit all assets. They're all different. You've got Forex assets that are 5,000 pips, others that are 38,000 pips. All have different volatilities. They're all traded by different personalities from different countries. And they then the people behind all these assets give the asset a personality in the way it's traded, because it's a reflection of what that group of people are doing. Now, if you look at cable and we look at Euro USD, it's very high frequency traded. So you get people coming in, getting out, taking profits. Whereas people in commodities and bonds and gilts, they put the money in and they leave it in. And they are slower to take profits. They extend things further. They build on trades. And that manifests itself in looking at things that are overbought for a long time or oversold for a long time. So you've got to get used to your asset that you're trading. Understand its personality. And then when something looks overbought, you can then determine whether you want to take the risk. Is the risk worth the reward? Does a higher time frame support the asset moving up higher? If the answer is yes, then you just take the 15-minute bar, even if it is oversold or overbought. So again, there's other tricks other things that you need to be aware of as well. When you've got markets that are trending up and consolidate, 8 times out of 10 they go back in the same direction as they enter the consolidation phase. So the consolidation phase there, and it's a breakout. There are other things that we teach and learn as well with the 9 and 26, and the distances between all these, and the distances between here. You can tell whether the market is getting aggressive or not getting more aggressive. The market's telling you to watch out. You can see from looking at the times when you get market switchovers on the Asia Pacific markets coming online, New Zealand, Australia coming online, when people starting to put money in the market and driving the market up. All these different things that you need to learn as a trader. Wow, 4 AM, that's what I call committed. Thanks for joining in, Jerome. We've got, oh no, Paul, we have a guy, it's roughly about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but he's gone. I don't know whether Paul was on this morning from America. But it's always tough to, when you're Asia Pacific market or Northern American markets, trying to do the European session. It's the European session is the most volatile session, and that's where you're probably going to make more money than the American session, because the American session, everyone in Northern Europe's probably made the money by then, and as America comes online, it's at the real tail end of all the action, because they don't have the benefit of the Asia Pacific switchover, which Northern Europe does, and then Northern Europe, massive market, all clicks in as well. Then it all settles down into the American session. So, if you're going to be a trader, then really you should be trading a Northern European session. Give it the max volatility, and but the American session's okay. The S&P is pretty predictable to trade. The Dow has really good for gap trading, whereas if you look at the Nasdaq, it leaves gaps all over the place. And gold is always a reasonable one in the American session to trade, but you're better off getting up in the morning or staying up late and trading the Northern European session, because that's where the volatility is. Right, gold. We're getting a bit of a run up on gold. We're getting some buyers coming in. Let's get this down into 5 minutes. Yeah, we're getting unbalanced volumes starting to kick through. But horrible candles. We are trading massively trending up with all-time record highs. We are about to change price action to come positive. What I mean by that is we've got the 9 EMA here, and we've got price action ideally closing above the 9 EMA, so we see a lovely rise like this with all the hesitation here. Early doors in the morning, where the Asia Pacific pattern was passed over to the Northern European session. Profit we took profit, waiting for the market to go back, and we want to get in again. If we can see a nice candle, a flat bottom candle, 15-minute, I would take any 15-minute bar now, and that is a flat bottom, like this flat bottom here. I was going to leave it here and go have a bit of a break and have a drink and come back in 15, but I'm not now. We've put in a flat bottom here, so we'll wait, and we can trade that flat bottom on. Just having a look here where we are. Crude's in the money now. Just looking at the other charts. FTSE's resting back at 11 pips. USD Japan is up 10 points. Euro USD is up 2. All slowly moving in the right direction. Slowly is the operative word. I don't mind making 1% slowly. as long as you're making money, that's all that counts. Ideally, I'd like to do it while we're trading live, so we all can do it together. But yeah, 15-minute bar down. I'm just wondering, silver sometimes reacts a little bit quicker. So we have silver and gold. So we can just do the two screens. So we've got some on the 5-minute here on gold. You can see where we are trading above the 9 EMA, and we've got some 5-minute fracas breakouts here. But we won't do the 5-minute fracas. For the guys in the room, if you want to do 5-minute fractal trading, that's absolutely fine. Let's just, because we've already made money on this, let's just wait for a 15-minute bar. But that would take a new all-time record high, but that's okay. And on silver, silver's the same because we've had, we are going to close in a 15-minute bar above the 9 EMA. And here, so in 12 minutes time we'll get the opportunity to go long on gold. Hi Steve, FTSE and Seabold gap close now. All right, we'll have a look at that. Right, the reason why, can anyone in the room tell Jeff why we wouldn't take Seabold? Can anyone remember on the FTSE? So, I'll tell you why. Because if we have a front run of CBOS, this is CBOS, it weakens the trade. It weakens the opportunity. So, what we generally see off the key area is when the market bounces, it'll bounce roughly an ATR. So from the bottom to the top, that's 18. The ATR is 15. So we generally look for a 15-point bounce. And if that had come down to CBOS, then it would have been a really good trade, but we missed it by a couple of pips. But it did do the average true range bounce that we were after. Unfortunately, we missed it. We've been clicked in and we're under CBOS now as a stop. Would we take this? Would we take CBOS on the second occasion? No, we wouldn't. It's not a CBOS bounce. It's not a CBOS trade as such, but it's still a good area to trade because noting this is green, which means the green is indicated a 1 hour support level because it's green. When it's red, it's a resistance level down in the 1 hour. So rather than being a CBOS bounce, this is just a really good area now to actually buy from. You can see from here all the way down to the 2-day high here. This range here would provide a pretty good value trade. We're at 9 o'clock now. Can anyone think of another instrument we would use to get into the FTSE? Give me it without a stop. What instrument would we use?
You look at options, Steve.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to ban EJ from answering all the questions. He's been in the room a long time and knows everything, knows it really well. But yeah, EJ's dead right. Yeah, options. So let's go and have a look at the options. So let's go and look at the options. So the options are a way of, on IG index, are a really good way for getting into the market when you think the market is really overcooked, but you're not really sure where the stock might be. But what you are really confident in is that the market is bullish and it's been stretched back, and you want to get in on the action of it going bullish without a stop. The stop in this occasion is time-based, which is at 4:29 tonight. So the market can wallow around all day, but if you can find an option let's say the close, because there's a gap to close. So the market is going to try and go for this close at some point today. That close is 9897. So if we go for a daily, because we're still early in the morning, and we hit the FTSE 100, and we want to look for 25 or under, and it's 9897, 9897, where is it? 9897, 9897, 98. This is lower than a snake's belly, isn't it? It's saying you've got absolutely no chance of the market coming all the way up here. So you could say, you could, pardon the pun, you could do two options here. You could say, well, do you know what? I want it to go all the way up to 98.97. Or what you could say is we are at 98.55 at the moment. You could say, well, we've got no chance, I don't think, of the market being at 98.57. You know, it's 98.56 at the moment, so it's 98.50 there. If it's under 25, it's good value. So what you could say is, I'm going to buy it here, and actually, while I'm waffling, I'm just going to put that in now. While I'm not certain the market's going to stop yet, I'm quite sure that, because we're on Camarilla breakout short, I'm quite confident that at 4:30 tonight, this market's going to resolve itself to be higher and close higher than 98.50. So that is one of the things you can see. We bought that at 15.4 and it's 16 straight away. So that's one way of getting an option, using the option. It's not how you purists would use options, but it's the way we use options very, very successfully in the room. You buy the option, saying we're on a real big good pullback. Market's pulled all the way back. We are pressing toward all-time record highs. We've had options expire out the way. Santa Rally could probably have started, and we've come back and tested Camarilla breakout short. We are in the market long anyway, and we've got an option to say this market is going to be higher than 98.50. You could also say, well, I want to try and close that gap as well. So you could put an option in for 98.97. 98.97, and it's saying absolutely no chance of that happening. So I'm not sure that is absolutely correct, but what I am sure of is if I can get some contracts for next to nothing, they only have to move a very, very small amount for you to be straight into the money. The spread is quite wide, but as soon as this starts taking off, these twos will go 3, 4, 5 up to 10s, and you'll get your money back, no problem at all. Possibly. No, I wouldn't say money back at all. So we're looking at, when you're risking 1%, you're looking at risking £20, because it's 1% of your 2% of your £2,000 trading account, so training account. So let's just get, can I get this bloody thing moving across? So that's a fiver. So you can put your contracts in there till it gets around about 20. Say 23, we could put 7 in there for 20. It's say, do you know what, I'm going to have a little bit of that as well. So we don't know where the market's going to go. What we do think is the market's going to rise. Is it going to close the gap? Well, we should do. Are we pull back? Yes, we're in the trade already. So if the market moves off the bottom and closes above 50, it's at 59 now, then we'll be in the money. If the market comes up halfway or even higher, we'll make some money again. Also, don't forget that you can trade these, as you can sell these at any point during the day. Now, this is all recorded, so we can just come back to this tomorrow. We'll come back on YouTube as well, and we can you'll be able to see, is that line of thinking profitable, and does it work?
Dave, can I just ask them, you've just bought an option there hoping it, you know, for the 851 when you're already above 50. So you wouldn't be in profit yet on that, would you? You do have to kind of let the day run out because you're already above 850 when you bought it. So
Yes.
in theory, you'd be in profit straight away. But I'm guessing you're not.
We're not. No, we want this to. We want this. What we're looking for here is not to profit right at this moment on that one.
Yeah.
We're looking to profit at the end of the day. What we're looking for on this bottom one is the market very much exhausted. So we want to see the market going up toward the close. So on this one, so I'm glad you mentioned that, Jeanette. The pinky in the brain idea for me here would be, I'll buy these here.
So I'd already bought that just before you mentioned like a higher one to look towards the close for about £6, I think it was. But then when you kind of threw me when you said I'm going to buy one, hoping it'll be above 50 when you're already at above 50. So I just wondering how those ones worked.
So I want that to exhaust the market this afternoon. I want it to close above 98.50. This one, I want the market to move off, and this is, you know, price lower than the snake's belly at the moment. But I would expect this to come up quite nicely, and because I've got 7x on this, my idea would be to, as the market runs up toward the daily pivot and hopefully higher, there'll be enough profit in this to pay for that call option anyway. So you're ensuring in the scenario of doing that. And I'm not, you know, we could have, of course, we could have sold a put as well, but we're not going to get into that here, and especially not on YouTube. We could have sold a put that the market is not going to go below 98.90. There's all sorts of things you can do, but to explain my level of thinking is, this is tonight. We'll have this for tonight, and we'll use this to bounce off the bottom, pay for this, but also we've not got to forget that we're already in the market here.
Yeah.
Going long as well. So the market owes us 1% because we lost one. I lost 1% this morning on the FTSE. So I want to get 2% back, and I would ideally like to get another 2x or 3x on the options as well. So we're hitting the FTSE on quite a few different angles, and that's just the FTSE we're in. We're in crude, and that's making money now. We're in USD Japan, that's making money now. We're in Euro USD, that's making money now as well. We've got the options in play, and we're kind of set really. We're waiting for gold. Oh, I did forget about gold. We come off gold, didn't we, to talk about the FTSE. So we're 58. This is, they aren't particularly so right. If you want to trade these now, we'll do gold first. We're 49 seconds in. 8.3 plus 5, 9 pips. 9.2. 9.2. Again, we can use quantity. £20. 9.2 would be, I'm taking into the account the spread and how we get in, and looking at a 1-to-1 risk reward. And we're now looking for a break up of that bar there. Just check that top. We have 14 seconds to go. That top there is 14.3, so 14.4, 14.5, 2 pips, 0.2 of a pip. A wee break up there would be good. And we've got the same thing here on silver. On silver, we've got the opportunity there. Stop under the swing low, 32.8, 2 pips, 3 pip spread at the moment. We'll round that up because a larger market. 32, call it 33 with 3, 36 plus 1, 37, and break at the top, 38 pips. Again, if you use the auto quantity, if my mouse will work. Auto quantity. and what did we say it was? I can't remember now. Was it 30? Let's just get into this a bit more. This is not quite correct, this one. Silver. We've got 15-minute bar flat bottom there, and we've got a close at 884, and the 9 EMA is 888, so we have got a close above the 9 EMA here. So let's measure that. It meets the criteria. Actually, the stop is, this is actually the stop here, not down here. It's actually here. This is a lower bar. 26.6, we're going to round that to 27 plus the spread 3, 30 plus 1, 31 plus 32, that's 30, 33, 32. We're accounting for a 1 pip break. We'll round that there. So that's what we're set up. Sorry, C-ball. I knew what you meant, Jeff. It's not a problem. So we're looking for 32 and 32, but I think we'll push that up into. We'll round that up into these tops here for better than a 1-to-1 risk reward. We are pushing an all-time record high requirement for for gold. I just checked that everything's working. Odd USD, have we got gold? Just setting up a gold trade on a different account. Barely 1 minute. Right, there we are. There we go. That's set up now. Right, let's have a quick. So we're clicked in on silver. We are about to potentially get clicked in on gold, so we're now aware with those two. FTSE, what's FTSE doing? FTSE, we're in the options on there, plus we're long here. DAX, we didn't really look at DAX because DAX just took off, didn't it? It's already done the closing gap and it's come down, hasn't hit the actual 24,366 target, which I'd like it to do that. So if you can see a 15-minute bar, and you absolutely can here, there is a 15-minute bar. It doesn't really look, doesn't get to look any better than that really. You can see the market closed the gap here. The market came up on an impulsive move, and now the close is acting as support. And now we've got that 15-minute bar here, over and done within 10 minutes, and that would provide you with, let's just see if it doesn't go up any higher, a nice 1-to-1 risk reward right into the target for the day on there. So we're trading FTSE with a direct trade and two different types of options to do two slightly different things, one to pay for the other, and hopefully the one to cash out as well later on today. We're 15-minute on the DAX, we're in gold, we're in silver, we're in crude, we're in Euro USD, and we're in USD Japani. Crude, we are flat we're a profit in the Euro USD, profit in the USD Japanese. We've already took nearly 3% on gold early this morning, lost 1% on the FTSE, and we're kind of set up to be a nice profitable day. What time is it now? 9:36. So when it gets about 9:30 or so, it's quite a really good time to take a little bit of a break because the market can be a bit slow. But I am going to take this 15-minute bar on the DAX. So I'm going to wait until the DAX sets up. We'll take the 15-minute bar, then we'll take a little break. And if there's anything else that anyone wants to talk about, then we'll come back. For the room, does anybody want to continue trading this afternoon? Not this afternoon, this morning. Or do you want to leave it till tomorrow? Silence. I'm looking up, so looking up at the screen with everyone there. So no, we've lost quite a few people, maybe to Christmas shopping or boredom. But potentially we've got a really good day on the cards. We're already up on gold and we've done really well. We're into gold again. We're into silver, Euro USD, USD Japanese. We could be on for a 4% day today, maybe a bit more. I'll tell you what we'll do. We won't stream all morning because there's no one got any real questions. We're positioned already on trades which now need to be given time to feed through. I will do screenshots into the Slack room later on in the day so people can see where we've got to, and we'll wait to see if we can get this DAX trade. This is not looking fantastic with this long wick, but it's got 7 minutes left. Let's see where it's going to do, and then we can come back tomorrow. We did expect the markets to be a bit quiet today and tomorrow. A lot of the big players have finished for Christmas. The unbalanced volume, it's just above 1,000. It's we expect this to be 20,000-30,000. It's 10x less. Than usual. Rather than going for the big bang these next 2 days, it's probably best just going for getting in one-to-one risk rewards. Be nice to go, since the cash gap wasn't done live, it'd be nice to actually do a live long trade on the DAX. Hmm. 5 minutes to go. That's set off as a nice promising bar. Now it's looking a wee bit scrappy. We are trading above the 9 EMA, so it's... I'd want a better bar than that, really. If you're going to spend money there, you want a better bar than that. We've got a wick that's longer than the body, which really puts you off. Tell me the market's had enough at this level at this time of day, 9:30. if the market can come down towards a daily pivot again, then I would look for some call up. If you can get some call options under 40 for 23 400s, 2360, then that would be okay. You're welcome, Jerome. Thanks for the nice comments. If we can, even if we can just help one or two people to keep the rupees in the pockets, stop losing money, getting a bit more consistency, or even just getting a bit more confident, then that's great. That's what we're after. Well, what a difference 15 minutes make. It was 12 minutes ago, this looked like a lovely flat-bottomed green candle. Just shows patience pays. Keep the money in your pocket. Do not try and preempt the market. The market is always right. You've just got to be patient. Let the market tell you it's ready. And until it's ready, you do not press any buttons. So look at that. You wouldn't have believed that was started off as a flat bottom green bar, would you? So it looks like the market's going to drift down a bit. 9:30, I think, in the indices is always a little bit of a killer. Everything, you get that rush in the early morning sessions, and then it relaxes back at 9:30, and then it's a matter of just being patient, going to walk the dog, have a drink, have a break for half an hour or so, and come back after 10. But we're already in the markets, aren't we? Spot silver's up, making money. Crude's making money. USD Japan is making. Well, rather than tell you, I'll show you. There's nothing here to trade. FTSE is still struggling. It's still down there. DAX is of no use. Gold, we're in. Silver, it was making money, it's flat. Gold, still waiting for a bit of a ping, a breakout on gold. Silver's making a bit, losing a bit, making a bit. Should be okay with that. Forex, that's silver, USD Japani. On a little pullback, what we want to see is just this thing just drifting up and up and up. We'll see where we get to with that. That's in the money. Euro USD. We had a impulsive move push, and now it's pulling back. All this is really normal action. So where's my pen? I'll just go over the action again before I go. Markets move either up or down, and the moving waves only ever either go up or they go down. They come up, people take profits, they come back off, people then find or believe there's value, they buy again, the market comes up, and so the whole saga starts again. So if you are not in Euro USD, wait for the next 15-minute bar or a fractal. If you don't have the fractals on the website, you can get hold of the fractals on the website. But they're only available for TradingView and Pro Real Time. If you're using anything else, then it's of no use. And then crude is the last one, and we're just waiting for these to play out now. And we'll recap this. We'll look at this tomorrow on on YouTube as well as in the live room. If you remember on this one, we're talking, and Jeanette was talking about things that are overbought, oversold, stretched, and how do we get into them on the 4 hour. And then Clive pointed out that there was some 15-minute bar action here, there. Whoops, pick that arrow up. There's a 15-minute bar reversal, 4:15. Another one there was nice. 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 Another nice one here, and a grade 2 bar here. And we took this bar here, a break of that bar there, and we are just waiting for this market to degrade and fall over. So we're looking at quite a lot of blue at the moment in the profits, so that's great. It's only FTSE that's lagging. USD Japanese in the money, Euro USD's in the money, oil's in the money, spot silver's in the money, gold's waiting to trigger, crude's in the money. Any questions before I go? We'll be on YouTube again tomorrow from 10 to 8. And all the action, a lot of the action will be over and done with by 10 past 8. Closing the gaps, it's where we make some money very, very quickly. And then we'll continue that, and we'll continue trading until it looks like the market's had enough, or it's 12 o'clock. So in YouTube guys, thanks for coming. See you tomorrow maybe. And for everyone else in the room, I'm going to call it there, because we're already in, and all we're going to do is watch our trades, and that's of no use really, is it? I'm going to go for breakfast, but I will do some screenshots and things to record what's going on, so that would be that'd be nice. All right guys,
Thanks, bye.
tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.